My philosophy has always been, yeah, you can treat someone, but don't make that a habit. Some people, they don't even like that. Some people get really annoyed when that's the theme that you're setting up, where you covered their meal, you covered their meal again. Now they're getting annoyed because they're thinking, why can't we just all be responsible for our own meals? That's what we would prefer. And that's something I would prefer. If I know that someone is feeling like that from the beginning stage, I won't cover a single meal for them. For example, whenever my brother comes into town, we know each other so well where I'm not going to really cover for him. He's not going to really cover for me. And there's no bad blood. If I, for example, cover for him, he's going to think, what are you doing? Do I have to do that for you the next time? That's the kind of relationship we have, and I think that's perfectly fine. So, and we make good money. So in your 30s, just because you make good money, don't assume that everyone wants to you to treat them. A lot of people, they just want that. They just want to avoid that awkward situation where now they're thinking, "Ugh, now I gotta cover. Now they're gonna cover. Now I have to cover, and you're just going back and forth. You're always worrying about, well, should I eat what I really wanted to eat? Because I've been walking all day, I'm starving, but now that they're covering, I feel a little self conscious. They don't want to deal with that. They want a situation where everyone is responsible for their own bills. And it's hard to tell stuff like that, where it's actually really hard to tell stuff like that, where I used to think that there are certain body language cues that you could tell, but it's not. I mean, the way that I carry myself in public, people would think that I love to treat or I love to be treated. Not really. I mean, I would prefer it if there was uh, a situation where we're all responsible for our own meals. I get it. Couples could obviously be together, but avoid all the stuff where you're combining a huge bill into one. Because sometimes you'll be leaving, spending $500, and then you have another night. What if you spend $500 again? If there's a good amount of people, then that will happen. Where I believe this is something that our generation is battling with more, where our parents' generation, this was the norm. They will just easily just treat people left and right. And I get the role of treating people in your 30s. It typically happens because at this stage, we have money, we have resources, and it just shows pure intent. But just understand that your pure intent, it's not always being perceived as pure intent by other people. And sometimes people will actually tell you, they'll say, look, you don't have to do this. For example, if my brother hypothetically is just buying stuff from me left and right when I'm visiting his city, I'll straight up tell him, because we have the rapport, look, you don't need to do this. And it's completely fine. It just takes away a lot of the analysis paralysis, and now you guys can actually just enjoy each other's presence. You don't have to keep thinking about money polluting your mind. You just enjoy each other's presence. It is good to treat people, but just take it with a grain of salt. My thing is, I will treat you probably once or twice, but I'm not going to be buying every single one of your meals. That's not going to happen. And when I treat you, it has to be for a big occasion. Maybe you're visiting me or it's your birthday. I'm not going to be treating you because it's a random Tuesday and we decided to hang out. We're going to have split bills in that situation.